stuff. Now there's another type of SNR. We call it open close levels. Okay, we call it open close levels. Now open close levels are made when you have same type of candles. We say, let's say we have two bullish candles, then an open close is made. Let's say we have two bearish candles, then once again an open close is made. See, what is this? First bullish candle and another bullish candle. So this right here is what we call the open close level. Okay, we call it an open close level because we're simple. I told you when it comes to SNR, we always focus on the closing prices, right? So this is the closing price of this bullish candle that could be used as a point of interest. Okay, this could be used as a key level, whatever. See, two bullish candles, even this one, two bullish candles, right? Could act as a support. Even this one, two bearish candles. Again, although they didn't play out, I'll tell you how to pick the best zones. Okay, there's a way to filter out zones because now once I teach you everything, now you might be okay. So we have it everywhere. What am I going to use for entries? Okay, so don't worry about entries. We'll go through them. Okay, now right now your job is to just identify these levels. Very simple. That's it. Okay. So yeah, that's about now. Let's look some examples of open close levels. Okay, because I love these open close levels very well. Very much actually, because I'll show you later. Okay, because when it comes to decision points, we're always dealing with these open close levels. Okay, so I will show you examples. Yeah, now it's the same thing with the open close levels. Now let's say we had two bearish candles, right? Let's say we had two bearish candles like this. So what is the open close level? It is this level, right? This is the open close level because this is the closing price of this bearish candle. Now, first of all, what do we expect? We expect a move like this, right? Because it is a resistance. But once again, it's the same logic. If it breaks, it could act as a support. Okay, because like I told you, it is a type of SNR. Okay, so if a support is broken, it turns into resistance. If a resistance is broken, it turns into support. Very simple. Okay, so let me show you some examples of open close levels now. Yeah, here we go. Here we have a very nice example. See, that's an open close, right? Two bullish candles created the closing price in here. Where did the market come into? Came right here, started moving up. Now, what you could do is, if you are not okay with entering directly, you could refine this into lower time frames, right? Now, what do we have on the H4 time frame? Another open close level, very close to the daily level. So you can refine it to that. Okay, if you go to H1, let's check H1. H1 is the last time frame that we go into. Yeah, see, daily level, H4 level. Maybe on the H1, we have another open close level. Can you see that? So let's see how the market reacted. I think it tapped into the H4, didn't go back to the H1. Oh, yeah, it did. Can you see that? So this is how we could do the refinements. Understanding that this is a daily zone, you can refine it to the nearby lower time frames like this. See that? Look at the precision. Taps, starts to move up. Okay, and then it starts to move up. So that's that. So let's see some more open close levels. Yeah, on the weekly we had some good ones. Yeah, look at this one. What is this? This is an open close level, right? That's an open close level. But what did this candle do? It broke through it. See that? It broke through it. So once it is broken, you can expect it to act as a support. Now, once again, you might be wondering, okay, why not this level? Okay, so those are once again stuff that you will understand once we talk about the basics. Okay, so there we go. Now what you could do is, this is a weekly level, refining it to the daily level. See that? And if you want to do more refinements, I don't see anything on the H4. You can refine it to this, but we'll talk about why we're not going to refine it there. And then, yeah, look at this. We had trend lines. Or you might be wondering what type of a trend line this is. This is a type of a break and retest trend line. Okay, so we will talk about trend lines later. Now look at the precision. What I want to show you is the precision. Look at that. See that? Where it tap into very accurately. Right into the daily and the weekly level. Look at that. Taps, boom, like right away. It doesn't even mess around on that area. Right away, it runs up to, look at this, 280 pips. Just like as soon as it taps. See, taps from the next candle, it starts to fly. Okay, so once you understand this, yeah, it gets better and better. Look at this. I'll show you some more. Weekly, on the weekly, yeah, look at this. Let me see. Even this one, where did this tap into very accurately? Where did this tap into? Open, close. Can you see it? Right here, open, close, or as right here. These are decision points. We will go through decision points. Okay, we call this a rising point. So look at the move. Look at this. You can call this this right here is a resistance now, right? Because I told you once the support is broken, it turns into a resistance. Now, can you see how this level was used as a support? See, rejected here, rejected here, rejected here. But this candle broke it. So once a support is broken, now, first of all, at this point, if I put the replay tool here, at this current moment, this zone is what? This zone is a support, right? This zone is a support. That is why the market kept closing above it. But once it's broken, like this, once it's broken, it turns into what? Once it's broken, it turns into a resistance, right? It turns into a resistance. So what happens? There it goes, steps, and then it starts to drop. Can you see that? So very important, very, very important that you pay attention to these levels. Okay, I'll show you how to filter out the good levels and all of that later. Right now, all you have to do is just understand the logic behind this. Okay, why we're choosing closing prices and all that stuff. Okay, look at this one. Where did the buy come from? Where did the buy come from? You can say these areas. Did it tap here? I think so. Yeah. Even this area. Can you see it? It was used as a resistance in here, a resistance in here, a resistance in here, and then it's broken. It turns into a support. Can you see that? You can see the precision, right? I can't make this up. Okay, you can see the precision very clearly. Look at that. Taps, starts to move up, right? And then even this one, if you do this, you'll be confused, but I'll show you how to do this. Look at this. Taps, starts to move up. Like all of these weekly lows are made on closing prices of some time frame. Look at this. The low, where is that made? Open, close. Can you see that? Where is this low made? Open, close. See that? Look at the entries then if you go into the lower time frames. The perks of staying on the higher time frame, because the lower time frames would have gotten you confused. See? Buys here, buying it here, right? Buying it here. Look at this, buying it here. What you could do is refinements if you wanted to. This one into this RBS. See that? You see the precision, right? This is what I'm trying to show you. See the precision there. This one maybe you can refine it to, where can we refine this into? I don't see anything on the H4. We have this RBS. Yeah, I think the RBS is what we could have used here. Might have got stopped out though because the drawdown. Let's see. Normally we have a 20 to 25 pips stop loss. Yeah, 25 pips is safe from the zone. 25 pips would have kept you in. Now, don't think of the drawdown, okay? Because your targets, if you're trading on the higher time frames, you're not just going to close it with 20 to 30 pips. No, you're always going to have 100 to 150 pip targets or more than that. Okay. So yeah, look at this one. This zone you could have refined into maybe here. See, what is that? RBS. Okay, so this is how you could refine zones and do all that stuff. So you see this, right? You see where all these lows are made, and this is just on the lower time frame. Now, I'm sorry, on the higher time frames, on the weekly time frame itself. Can you see the precision? Look at that, buy, 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 buy. Okay, so very precise if you understand it well. Okay, if you understand it well, it is very, very precise. Now, I took a sell this day. This was on Friday. How did I take the sell? What is this? An open close, right? We call this an open close. You can see that very clearly. Then what you could do is inside of this open close, you can go into the lower time frames and then do some refinements. Let's go to the daily. Did we have anything to refine this into? No, just a long wick. Then let's go to the H4. Now, if you go to H4, of course, we had many zones inside of this. See, we had this resistance here. We had this resistance here. Can you say, but I did not take any of this. Okay, I did not refine it to the H4 levels. I'll tell you why later. If you go to H1, on the H1, we had two levels that we could refine into. So we call this, yeah, you can even call this multi-time frame because inside of the weekly zone, we had this H1 open close and we had the H1 resistance. Can you see that? So where did the cells come from? Right there. From inside of the weekly zone, we had the H1 level. So you see where the cells came from, right? Taps, and then it starts to drop. Look at that. Look at the drop. You have a drop of, yeah, 340 pips that day on a Friday. Okay, so this is how good it is if you pay attention. Okay, if you pay enough attention, like look at this one. Even this cell. Oh, it was awesome. The next confirmation entry, let's see. Why did I tell you? I told you a buy and a sell candle will create a resistance, right? So now what do we have here? A bullish candle, a bearish candle. So this should be a resistance. Can you say? Yeah, you can't see it very clearly unless you zoom in a lot. See, that's the F formation, but that's what I told you. A bullish candle and a bearish candle. Now, once again, with broker, there are problems with brokers, and you might see stuff like this. Now, look at this. The closing price is here, the opening price is here. You might be wondering which one am I going to use? Then remember, simply you're always going to use closing prices. Okay, and another thing to point out is that if you are trading gold, this is the broker you should use. Okay, Saxo. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe that's how. Okay, Saxo or whatever. This is the broker that you should use because the reason is we will be dealing with the H4 time frame a lot, like so much for confirmation entries and many other stuff. Okay, so we'll be dealing with the H4 time frame. The problem is different brokers have different closing times. So the H4 candles will differ. Now, Saxo is the most closest one to MT4. Okay, Saxo is the most closest one to MT4. Okay, now let me show you the cell and then, yeah, look at this. This is a resistance. That's a resistance, right, on the H4. And then what happened? The market taps back into the resistance and boom, melts. Can you see that? So you see where the cells came from, right? Most people won't even have an idea where it came from, but yeah, that is where it came from. Now look at this. If you go into other brokers like Oanda, now Oanda is very accurate for forex pairs. Okay, like even if I don't trade this anymore, but when I was trading it, Oanda was the most accurate. See now for forex pairs, I only have Oanda, so that's enough. But for gold, you can't use Oanda. The reason is, yeah, I told you the reason already. Now look at the difference. Okay, look at this H. Just have a look at this H4 candles on Saxo, and then if you go to Oanda, see, it's completely different. See, this wasn't even there on any MT4 broker or whatever. See, these are broker issues. So don't use Oanda. Oanda is not accurate, in my opinion. Like I don't trust Oanda to do my analysis. I do my analysis only on MetaTrader itself. I don't do my analysis on MT4. So the closest one to MT4 is Saxo. Okay, so please, if you're trading gold, do not use any other broker. Use this one. This is the most accurate one. Okay, and yeah, now for MT4, I use IC markets. Okay, IC markets and RoboForex. So that's that. Now you can understand this, right? You can understand all of these now.